Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks, depending on your time frame and your geography. If you can hear me and if you can see my screen, please give me a check. So you just say yes or no if you can see my screen, and also if you can hear me clearly. Right, okay, I'm not getting much response, so I'm a bit worried that if you guys can really hear me or not. Just say yes or no if you guys can see my screen, or if you guys can also view. I mean, if you guys can view my screen and if you can hear me. So just a quick yes or no would be great. All right. Okay. Great. So now we got the people are okay. Okay. Great. Look, thank you so much for attending and taking the time out for this particular webinar. In our series of these master classes, we focus on some really burning topics, and every single week I cover various different topics. And of course, for today, it is more about cryptocurrencies and specifically about Bitcoin, and of course we will touch on Ethereum as well. So we'll be discussing a wide range of topics within the cryptocurrencies. We'll be discussing, of course, all the fundamentals in relation to crypto assets, such as what exactly is going on the regulation side, how the demand side is progressing, and what are the key updates since our last webinar. And of course, that really shapes up our conversation to really analyze where the Bitcoin price could really be heading from there onwards. I mean, I welcome to all sort of questions at any particular time. So if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to ask me any questions as we go along. So just a bit about myself. My name is Naeem Aslam. I come with a wealth of 15 years of trading experience. During this time period, I have worked as a hedge fund trader for Bank of New York Mellon and as an equity trader for Bank of America, and currently providing services as a Chief Market Analyst to AvaTrade. So before we do anything else, as always, it is important for us to go through this disclaimer and risk warning. So anything which we'll be discussing in this particular video cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own financial advisors. Now, how many of you have been actually trading Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? That is something that I like to ask. So be prepared for some of the questions coming your way very shortly in relation to that. But before we do that, just a bit of a details. So our Twitter detail is right in front of you, and on a daily basis, we produce two different sort of videos. One is our fundamental video, and secondly, our technical analysis video. How many of you are actually watching our daily videos? Are there other people over here who are watching these videos on a daily basis, or they have seen any of these videos previously? That'd be great to have them. So I see people are actually watching them. That is fabulous. So that's really good, because it really shows that how you guys are committed to this particular area of learning. Great. So Bindi is saying that just started to watch videos. So great, Bindi. That is really what we really want you to do. So we want you guys to really put comments on that. If you guys have any comments, so we'll be more than happy, as always, to answer all those questions on a daily basis. Now, what is the agenda for today? As discussed earlier, we will be discussing the fundamental sides of a Bitcoin, and really the big news, how those big news are really impacting the markets as well. So we'll be discussing all of that, and then from there onwards, we'll be having more deeper discussion on the technical side of those as well. So before we continue, how many of you have actually ever bought Bitcoin? So we have a pretty decent number of audience over here. So just give me a yes or no if you have actually bought Bitcoin or any other sort of a cryptocurrencies before. So I see that the people are saying currently that yes, they have bought cryptocurrencies. I have not seen any no yet. So it's mostly people are saying that yes, they have bought cryptocurrencies and especially like Bitcoin. Okay, great. So if you guys have bought them last year, I am sure that you guys will be very, very happy. Or even if you guys have bought Bitcoin at the beginning of this year, you guys must be very happy today. And if you are still holding on to your Bitcoins, I am pretty sure that that could be very, very great for you guys as well. Just a big news: 600 million liquidation as Bitcoin drops 3,000 in minutes. Okay, so we will discuss that. So there's just this breaking news has just come out, and I wanted to dwell on that particular news later on because earlier today we did produce a technical analysis video on our YouTube channel where we talked about Bitcoin prices could be reaching towards the 70,000 price level because a bullish pattern had formed and it was confirmed. But during the last few minutes, we have seen Bitcoin prices dropping quite sharply. They were reaching near 60,000, but I don't want to discuss all of that right now because we have a special time to discuss all the price action. Now, just a quick check. What do you think, in your opinion, what is Bitcoin? Is it, and more importantly, do you really think that Bitcoin is really a safe haven asset? Okay, so Paul is saying that you don't think that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset. What are the reasons, maybe, Paul, if you wanted to dwell on that? Okay, so again, more people are saying that they hope that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, but so not sure about this one. Unstable because of the price action. That is pretty much, that's a very, very good answer. Yeah, I mean, that is certainly a concern out there among investors that the price is very much unstable. Any other reason that why you think that Bitcoin isn't really a safe haven asset? Anyone can throw any ideas at any time that you like. The why would you guys think, or why you guys think Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, or why Bitcoin is not a safe haven asset, which I will really discuss in a bit. Running out of supply? No, a really great way of explaining that. I appreciate that. But running out of supply, limited supply is really good because that means that demand is going to remain unlimited when you have a supply limited. So that doesn't really make it unstable at all. So let me explain to you guys why Bitcoin is a safe haven asset. The Bitcoin is a safe haven asset because if we listen to Jerome Powell, who is the Federal Reserve Chairman, the central bank in America, he has recently compared Bitcoin with gold. Now, do you guys know who Jerome Powell is? I mean, as I said, he's the Federal Reserve Chairman. He controls the interest rate over in America. So the interest rate on the dollar. So, I mean, he said recently that Bitcoin is an alternative to gold. And we all know that gold is a major safe haven asset. But during the COVID sell off last year in March, when everything was selling, that we saw a massive sell off in gold prices and in Bitcoin prices as well. So both of them failed to act as a safe haven asset. And the reason was that not that they didn't act as a safe haven asset, the reason was because investors were selling their Bitcoin and gold to cash out from the gains that they've made and protect their portfolio, their equity portfolio. So that really led the sell-off. Now, the fact that we are seeing, like one of the biggest, I mean, not one of the, actually the biggest central bank considering Bitcoin as an alternative to gold. So that really shows that, yes, it has certainly the ability of act as a safe haven asset. If you go on the fundamental side of the story, just like how you mine gold, you also mine Bitcoin as well. How we have a limited supply of gold in the entire world, we also have a limited supply of Bitcoin as well. So that really relates to, those properties are very in part to each other, very much parallel to each other. And this stipulates to us that, yes, we can use Bitcoin as a safe haven asset. And more importantly, very recently, we have started to see Bitcoin prices moving to the upside, just like the treasury yields are. So again, treasury yields are very much of a safe haven asset, and Bitcoin acting in tandem with these ones again answers that question as well. So another person, Bindi is saying that the government regulations, yes, that is certainly a concern. We still don't know how governments will react to that. And I can say one thing very certain, that governments will never, ever, give their clear answer in relation to Bitcoin. In the regulatory perspective, I think it is very much likely to stay within its swamp, and we won't see a clear regulation. We won't see a complete ban. We won't see it completely regulated. But the fact is that Bitcoin ETF is highly likely to be regulated in the next weeks or so, because Goldman Sachs and Fidelity, they both have filed for Bitcoin ETF. So that is another answer to that government regulation where we could see potentially good news coming out. Now, what is moving Bitcoin price? Of course, more recently, we have seen plenty of good news in relation to Bitcoin, such as yesterday we saw PayPal allowing its US customers to buy anything where PayPal is available to settle the payment by using Bitcoin. And before that, in our previous conversation, we covered how Bitcoin can be used to purchase Tesla, a car, a very physical substance that you can you can touch it, you can drive it, you can feel it. So again, now that can be done. So again, that shows that the physicality or the usage of Bitcoin to buy assets of in real world. And long time ago, we already saw headlines where you could buy property by using Bitcoin as well. So that was again a great usage of that. But now we are seeing the actual companies, S&P 500 companies, announcing something similar. Something not similar, announcing that you can use Bitcoin to buy their assets. And in addition to that, a lot of companies have started to buy Bitcoin into their treasury system. What do I mean by the treasury system? Because every company has a lot of cash, and then on their cash balance, what they do is either they invest into the market, they invest into the R&D, the research or development, or they buy other companies, the competitors, and so on and so forth. And now companies like Tesla, they have started to use that excessive cash to buy Bitcoin, and really that becomes a part of the treasury system. So I hope that it really kind of gives you a very, very good flavor in terms of a fundamental. Now, is the supply really limited? Of course, there is no doubt about that. We've already decided that. And how big is the demand? It is only getting bigger and bigger. What do I mean by that? The Wall Street giant, Morgan Stanley, is really opened the door to its clients where they can allowing their customers to buy Bitcoin. We have several banks over in Europe, such as BBVA, also allowing its clients to buy Bitcoin as well. So, overall, we are looking at a situation where a large number of companies really allowing their clients to do this sort of a stuff, so which is kind of very, very important in terms of a demand, because now there is a panic in the market which is telling us, there you go, Goldman closed to offer investment vehicles for Bitcoin. Very, very, very big news have just come out recently, and that is that Goldman Sachs is going to allow clients to use their Bitcoins for investment, as an investment vehicle. So they can use Bitcoin to buy several different asset classes. That is a very, very big news. Just literally came out from CNBC right now. So that was a very, very big news, and that should provide a boost to prices as well. So we will see all of that. Now let's go to actual price levels and then see how big all of this news is really impacting Bitcoin price, and what we're really seeing, because we've just seen a big news coming out, and now we wanted to see how that is really influencing the price. So as you can see on the chart, I'm going to bring out the BTC chart, that the price has recently reversed from its lows of 56,673. Now it has started to move to the upside. If I go into even smaller time frame, you can see the reaction of that news, which has really started to push the price back above an important moving average. What is that moving average? This is, in green is your 200-day, and then you have your 100-day, and then finally your 50-day simple moving average. But the more important thing we really got to look at is starting from our daily time frame. So earlier in the morning, is it worth buying more now or miss the boat? Binti, I think you have to really look at your own portfolio, because your own risk profile, but I would say that Bitcoin remains a certainly good investment, because this thing is really going to go all the way to 100,000 now. So again, look at your own risk profile before you do anything else. And if you have any further questions, you can come online on my Twitter and ask me any questions, because I'm very, very active, which is Naeem Aslam 23 is my Twitter handle. So you can easily see that even under anywhere on the web. So what we discussed early in the morning was we were paying attention to this particular candle. Now, first of all, obviously, you can see that there's a massive upward trend in Bitcoin price. Over here, we had a high, then we had another higher high. Now we are forming sort of another high, and hopefully this will not turn out to be a head and shoulder pattern where, you have your left shoulder, you have your head, and then you have your right shoulder over here. Because if that does, and then the neckline comes over here, right around here, then we are looking at a 10,000, a price where the price can really break to the downside, and then we could see potentially 35,000 in terms of a Bitcoin price as well. But what we could see is that we also need to pay attention to is that this particular candle over here, which was formed not too long ago, only on the 20th of March, and the high was 59,000, and today the price has rejected to go beyond this particular price level, giving us really that opportunity to short Bitcoin at this particular price. But if the price can break above the highs of this particular candle right over here, as you can see, then we have very, very big chances for the price to break and challenge the next high, which is right over here, which was on the 18th of March, and that is around 59,000. Sorry, the high of this one is at 59,000 and 983. The high of this one is 59,792. So you can see there's a very small difference. This is 59,983. The high of this one is 59,792. And today's high, as you can see from this one, was 59,725. And again, the high of this one was 59,792. It's just a small bit shy of that one. And what we also got to look at is that is the price is really going to stay above the recent lows. But most of the price action, the answers really going to be coming from the 30-day simple moving average. The price has recently bounced from its 200-day simple moving average, which confirmed to us that this market is going to go to the upside. We just need the price to break above the 100-day simple moving average and then go above the 50-day simple moving average. Earlier, when we were doing our analysis, we were trading above all of these moving averages, and then this massive sell-off happened afterwards as the price approached this important resistance zone. Now we are seeing the price to move back to the upside, and that is very positive. And the price has already violated this 100-day simple moving average over here. So the chances are that we will continue to move to the upside. And another, in terms of a pattern, earlier I've discussed the head and shoulder pattern on the daily time frame, but in our video that we did discuss the reverse head and shoulder pattern. And that head and shoulder pattern is this becomes your shoulder, this becomes your head, this becomes your right shoulder. And if this becomes your neckline over here, which, you know, the price took it earlier in the morning. Now, if we measure the move from here to here, that is again a 10,000 move, and that means the price can move all the way to 70,000. But if the reverse head and shoulder, if the head and shoulder pattern on the daily time frame sort of works out, then we are looking at the price between 35 to 40,000 sort of a price level, or let's just say, yeah, at least 40,000 price level is the minimum that we'll be very much looking at as the projection of this particular price trend will say. But hopefully the price will be able to break above this particular moving average, and it can stay above the 200 simple moving average. But if it doesn't, then we are likely to see move to the downside. Now, on the daily time frame, another positive sign that is coming in is that this being your high and then this being your lower high. On the RSI, this is your high, this being your lower high. If the RSI can break and violate its downward trend line, and it can break above that, then again we will say we will have a confirmation that this particular price is going to move to the upside. Now, does that make sense what I have discussed so far? Any questions on them? Feel free to ask me any questions if you guys are unsure about anything, because that is why I am here for. And remember, the recording of this particular webinar will be going to our YouTube channel as well. So you can always rewind and play back this one. That'll be able to answer you. So once again, to summarize everything. Okay, thank you, Bindi. I appreciate that. And again, I'm here to help more if you need anything. Now, again, to summarize the entire simple price action that we have seen on Bitcoin before we call it a day, is that on the daily time frame we have a bearish pattern forming, which could push the prices towards the 40,000 price level if the price fails to break above these important these important candlesticks, which is one over here, the one on the 20th, and the second one on the 18th. And then on the 4-hour time frame, on the intraday time frame, we have the bullish pattern forming, which is your shoulder, your head, and again your shoulder over here. And if this pattern continues to break to the upside, we could potentially see really big price moves to the upside. That means the price can go all the way to 70,000. I mean, we have so many different reverse head and shoulder. One this, right? And then we have this shoulder, and then we have this shoulder to really look at. And then we have this shoulder right over here, and then we have this shoulder to look at. So we have a lot of reversal patterns, reverse head and shoulder patterns formed on the 4-hour time frame, which are really telling us that the price could potentially continue to break to the upside. all what we got to do is got to stay above the low of this particular candle, and the low of that candle is 56,808. So the prices are likely to move to the upside. All right, folks. So if you guys do not have any further questions, I hope that you guys enjoyed the webinar, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning in our technical analysis video. As always, leave a comment or anything if you like the content of that. Do let us know as well. So otherwise, we'll see you next week with a new topic which we'll be discussing at that time. All right, have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Happy trading, and we'll see you guys soon.